Hey everybody, we're going to be talking about essential oils today, but before I get started, I want to give a little plug to my amazing sister-in-law. She is selling doTERRA essential oils, and she can be found at Soul Honey Spirit on Twitter. Check out what she's got and she might be able to help you with your oils. See you in a few. Hello, all my beautiful inside and out heart healers. I hope y'all are having a great day, that you had a good holiday, and that you've got to spend a lot of time with family and friends and people that you really, truly enjoyed hanging around with as much as what we could during this crazy, freaky year that we've had. But hopefully you were still able to find some joy in it. Today's podcast, like I promised, is going to be on essential oils. Da-da-da! I love essential oils. I could talk about these all day long. I will give you kind of a heads up. This podcast may go into a little bit of time. I don't think it might be a little longer than the one about crystals. I'm going to go into a little more in depth about these. Not as much, but yeah, a little bit more. And I am dedicating this podcast to my best friend and sister, Hiraeth. She has been wanting me to do a podcast on oils, and she did some research and gave me some really good ideas about some things that I could include in some recipes. So shout out to her. I see you, girl. I love you. She is awesome. We have been best friends since we were 6 years old. And somehow, through all the twists and turns and changes that life brings, we are still best friends. And I love her. I don't know what I'd do without her. So there you go, girl. Thank you so much for the great ideas that you gave me. So with that, I hope y'all enjoy this podcast. We're going to have fun. It's going to be good. I will start off by saying, okay, disclaimer. I am a certified aromatherapist, but I'm not a medical doctor. I know with oils, and just like anything, you always want to do your research. You want to make sure you don't have like certain allergies. People, like even if you're pregnant or nursing or anything like that, you would want to do a little more in-depth on anything that you use, and that includes essential oils. So I can't make any guarantees, promises, yada yada, the whole thing. But I'm sharing with you some of my knowledge, and I've chosen 12 oils that I work with. There's a lot of really good oils out there. There are some that are really kind of heavy-hitting, and that you actually have to be careful with using because they could be poisonous even in some small amounts. So you really want to know what you're doing with those. The ones that I've chosen are pretty. You can find a lot of these in Walmart. Dollar store. Of course, you always, if you have a choice, you always want to make sure that you use what they call therapeutic grade, which is the purest grade, and it's used medicinally. If you have a person that you go to for oils, then by all means support them, buy your oils from them. But most of these are pretty more or less commonplace. So again, just before you use any of these, just make sure that you do your own research. If you need to check with the doctor, if you think you might have allergies or anything like that, by all means do that, because I can't make any claims on that. So it's a shame you have to do that in this day and age, but you know how the world is, so there's my little disclaimer on that. I have 12 really good oils that I'm going to share with y'all, and as I said, these are ones that I work with on a pretty consistent basis. I love each and every one of them. I'll list them first, and then I'll briefly go over each one, what they're good for. These are all oils that I've chosen specifically for use for empaths, because all oils, not only do they have good emotional and, mental uses, but they also have really good physical uses too. So I'm not going to discuss those with the physical uses today. I may do a later podcast and maybe go over some of these additionally, because there are so many good benefits to oils. And there's a really good science behind this. But today we're just going to go over these that we're going to use for empathic reasons. These 12 are lavender, lemon, geranium, tea tree, jasmine, chamomile, peppermint, sandalwood, eucalyptus, orange, patchouli, and Ylang. And you know, I even Googled that to make sure that I was pronouncing it correctly. But anyway, these are the 12 oils that we're going to discuss. And while I'm discussing them, I'm going to tell you kind of what they blend well with too. And some of the oils that you'll hear mentioned later in the recipes, and even some of these that they blend well, some of these are in our list. Some of them won't be. If you're familiar with oils and you want to go out and get some and, you know, do some different experimenting and stuff on your own, I mean, that's great. Go for it. These are just the ones that I chose to go over today. So, the first one we're going to talk about is my beloved lavender. I love lavender. Lavender really helps balance the emotions. This is such an awesome little oil. You can even use it by itself. I mean, you can even, like, if you have really bad anxiety attacks, like my daughter, she deals with anxiety pretty frequently, and I've had times where I've had problems with it. You can carry, no joke, you can carry like a bottle of lavender in your purse and just like put some a little bit under your nose or maybe on your temples, or just smell it, and it will calm you down. It is the best, most awesome oil. But yeah, it'll help balance your emotions. It's good for stress, hysteria, irritability, and nervous tension. Some of the things that lavender blends really well with are orange oil, rose oil, lemon, and pine. And so let us move on. I have my notes here so I don't forget anything. The second one is lemon. I love lemon. Lemon is awesome. Lemon is happy. I love it. Any of the citrus oils, incidentally, I don't have them all listed in here in my 12, but just a little side note, any of them I think will go really good for empaths because of the tremendous mood lifting abilities that they have. You smell them and they smell like sunshine to me. It's like sunshine in a bottle. It just makes you, feel really good and happy and uplifted. And I have done blends where I did nothing but citrus. I mixed lemon, I mixed orange, I mixed bergamot, which is like kind of in the orange family, sort of, and grapefruit. And you put those together and put them in a diffuser in your kitchen, and oh my gosh, it is awesome. So lemon is a mood lifter, really good for helping you with stress. It's an anti-stress oil. It's a little bit of a sedative, which is kind of strange because you would think that since it's uplifting that it wouldn't make you tired, but it does have sedative qualities. And it is a relaxing and calming oil. It can also help enhance your sleep. So there you go. And it blends really well with lavender and also eucalyptus. And those three together make a really awesome blend. I've used that blend quite a few times. I went through a period to where, like every day, I would switch up my blends, and I just put like different blends in there and kind of have like a different smell for the day, and just kind of help your emotions and just the whole feeling and the vibe in the house. It's really nice. I highly recommend it if you can. So now we go on to our next one, which is geranium. Geranium is a really cool smelling oil. It's almost like a little earthy. It's really good. It's excellent at calming the nervous system, but you want to use it in small amounts. You don't need to use very large amounts of it at all. It'll help with stress. It lifts your mood. It also has a sedative quality, and like I was saying earlier, if you use it in large amounts, it will actually stimulate. So if you're looking for a relaxing effect, you want to keep it to just a few drops. It blends really well with jasmine, rose, orange, and also bergamot. Next oil is tea tree. I love tea tree. I know I said I wouldn't go over like physical stuff here, but just as a side note, tea tree is good for just about anything. It is a natural antiseptic. You can use it like with antibiotic ointment. It's really harsh on the skin though, so you always want to make sure that you use it with some type of a carrier oil, which we'll discuss all of that when we get through going over the oils. But it is really a really good oil. It is a mood lifter, and like I said, it's a very strong oil, and very antiseptic. But it is just a good basic oil. It's a very strong mood lifter too. Now, if you don't like the smell of some of the more turpentine type oils, that one may not be for you for empathic reasons, but I like it, and it does seem to have a calming effect on me. But it's probably one that you would want to dial back on and just use like a couple drops if you're using it specifically for that. Okay, our next one is Jasmine. I love Jasmine. I notice I'm saying I love this to all these because I really do. And I could talk about oils all day long. There are so many good oils out there. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. It really is, but this will be a good start for you. Jasmine is a good mood lifter. It is also an aphrodisiac, so you might keep that in mind for someone special later on. It's an antidepressant, it's a sedative, and another little side note for this one, it is considered a female tonic. There are lots of good feminine things that Jasmine is really good for. It blends well with rose, orange, and sandalwood. Our next one is Chamomile. Chamomile is very calming. It lifts your mood. It's a very soothing oil. Helps calm your nerves, and it blends really well with lavender and also geranium. The next one is Peppermint. Peppermint is awesome. It's so refreshing. It's a mood lifter and also a brain stimulant. You know, a lot of times people who are trying to stay awake, like while they're driving, or that are needing to study for, tests or anything like that, they use a little bit of peppermint. You can put peppermint oil in a diffuser just by itself, and it'll just freshen up the room so much. It's also a bit of an aphrodisiac, and it is really good for the nerves. It blends well with lavender, eucalyptus, and grapefruit. You blend the peppermint with grapefruit, that's a very cool blend. It's very, very, makes you feel alert and refreshed and revived. It's really awesome. The next one we're going to cover is Sandalwood. Sandalwood is a mood lifter, calming, relaxing, another aphrodisiac. Apparently a lot of these are. It's also a bit of a euphoric, and it's sedative at the same time. So it's a very cool oil. It blends well with lemon, rose, and also frankincense, which is not one that we have on the list, but frankincense is a really good oil, and as well as rose. I don't have rose on the list, but rose has a lot of really good properties as well. Our next one that we're going to cover is Eucalyptus. Really great oil. Side note, lots of good physical things go along with eucalyptus. But anyways, it is calming and will relieve fatigue. It's a mood enhancer, and kind of like peppermint, it will make you feel refreshed in that way, but it is a calming oil. It blends well with lavender, with lemon, and if you want to add some pine oil, it'll go really well with that too. Our next one is orange. I love orange oil. That's another one you can just put in the diffuser even by itself, and it is so great. Definitely a mood lifter, and it'll improve your mental clarity, help kind of get you alert and awake. It relieves stress. It does have sedative qualities, but I have noticed that for me, it tends to wake me up a little bit. So maybe some of these oils, it depends on you. I don't know, but that's how it has affected me. But traditionally, it is in that family. It blends well with geranium, with lemon, and also with chamomile. And we've actually gone through this list kind of fast. Our next one, number 11, is Patchouli. Patchouli is a mood lifter which all of these are actually going to say mood lifters because that's part of the reason why I chose them. It's an aphrodisiac, helps a lot with stress. This one will definitely wake you up, and large amounts can actually cause overstimulation. So one you definitely want to keep dialed back a little bit. It blends really well with geranium, with lavender, and also with rose. Our last one we're going to discuss is Ylang, mood lifter, of course. Very good at reducing stress, an aphrodisiac, a euphoric, which will help you feel like really, really good, and it also will help enhance your sleep. So this is one that would be really good. You could even you could kind of put some in your diffuser like shortly before bedtime and just kind of, give some good atmosphere and some good vibe to your bedroom and help enhance your sleep quality. So those are our 12 oils. And now I'm going to share some recipes with you that I think you'll really enjoy. These are really easy to do, pretty basic. And I will say too that if you don't have everything, say a recipe sounds really good and it maybe has 1 or 2 oils that you don't have, just leave that oil out. You'll still get the benefits from it. We're going to go over some massage oils. Also, some things we're going to mention are just blends that you can put together for your diffuser or something of that nature. Talking about massage oils, a good rule of thumb is that you want to use 5 to 6 drops per ounce of whatever carrier oil. You always want to pick a good carrier oil. I generally prefer coconut or sweet almond oil. I've even used vitamin E oil that you can get from Walmart. I've used that too. That can be a little more expensive, but it gives you a really good oil. But 5 to 6 drops, that is total. That's the total, however many different oils you have, you would kind of keep it at that per ounce. And what that'll do is give you a good, what they call a basic 1% dilution, which is not very strong. You can still, of course, get benefit from it, but it's not as strong. If you want to go a little bit stronger for a 2% dilution, which is kind of average, you could actually use 10 to 12 total drops. So let me get to my recipes. And the first one that I'm going to give you guys is a good basic lavender massage oil. Now this calls for 15 drops of lavender. You want to use 4 ounces of your carrier oil. And like I said, I prefer coconut or sweet almond. There's a lot of other really good ones out there. You can use calendula, jojoba, olive oil. In a pinch, you can use whatever oil that you have on hand. And when you make this up, you can actually add in 2 capsules of vitamin E, because that actually acts as a natural preservative. So any of these oils that you make up that you want to do that with, you can. You can just get some vitamin E at the store or whatever, and they're very, if you haven't ever seen one, it's they have fluid inside of it, and so you'll pierce it. I usually pierce it with a steak knife or something, and then you can just squeeze out those little drops into your oil, and then kind of shake it up, mix it up, and it'll help preserve it for a while. I don't know exactly how long, but it'll help keep it from going bad for a little bit. A good, simple, gentle oil that you can use, very light oil, will be 2 ounces of your carrier oil, whatever you choose, only 4 drops of lavender, and 1 drop of chamomile. And that will give you a very light smelling, just a gentle oil. If you have someone that, it's also a good way to test, if you're not sure how certain oils will react to you, you can use a little bit of that, put it somewhere that would be safe for you to use on your skin, and just make sure that you don't have a reaction with it. But just something light and gentle. A good blend you can get that you can use for tension is 4 drops of lavender, 4 drops of Ylang, and 4 drops of Sandalwood. And again, you can just put these in your diffuser, just anything like that. I have a diffuser that I use, so I totally recommend that. A good concentration blend is 1 tablespoon of carrier oil and 5 drops of lemon, 5 drops of peppermint, and 5 drops of orange oil. And I know that does kind of overseed. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to make it a word. That kind of goes over the recommended like 1%, 2% dilution. But that would be something that you would want to just, like carry around in a bottle with you and use that you could smell it or keep with you. I have some good blends for depression, and also some of these you can tweak a little bit. I suggest like 2 to 3 drops of each one. You can make these into a massage oil, like I said, put them in a diffuser. If you want to make them into massage oil, then you would want to change your drops a little bit to however much massage oil you were wanting to make. But some good ones that will go together for depression are lavender, eucalyptus, and peppermint. Another one is jasmine, orange, lemon, and sandalwood. A third one is orange and neroli. And the fourth one is clary sage and lemon balm. Some good ones for anxiety would be lavender, chamomile, and ylang, or chamomile, neroli, and frankincense. Another one I'm going to give you is Aphrodisiac Massage Oil, and you can mix this up. If there's some of these oils that you don't have, it's fine. You can just mix up whatever you do have. But you take 4 ounces of almond oil, 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of sandalwood, 2 drops of either ylang or patchouli. You can switch one out for the other. 2 drops of vanilla, 1 drop of jasmine, 1 drop of cinnamon oil. You just mix it all up and put it in your little bottle, and you can just put it on whenever, wherever you want to. So the next one that we are going to go on to, and these are some that were shared with me by my sister Dareth, is an energetic cleansing oil, and it uses 1 ounce of carrier, and then you're going to use 4 to 5 drops each of white sage oil, geranium oil, and palo santo oil. And I have not tried this, but I really would like to, because that sounds like an awesome blend. Really good. And one good for shields is sage, patchouli, frankincense, and bay of laurel, and 4 to 5 drops each of those in your chosen carrier oil. So that is my message for today. We've covered all the oils and the ones that they blend well with. You can go back through and you can make some of your own oils. Your own oil blends up. Just looking at, I don't know if you took notes or not, but if you did, or if you want to go back and listen to, so you can do that. Pick out the ones that mix well with each other and just kind of get creative and have fun with it. Pick out the ones that either are really calming and put them together, or the ones that'll kind of really perk you up and put them together, or the ones that are aphrodisiacs if you want to surprise somebody later. But hopefully those will do well for you. And whether you're dealing with anxiety or depression, or you just need to have your mood lifted up, those will definitely do that for you. And if you have some other oils that you'd like to hear covered later on, like I said, I may even do another podcast covering a different set of oils for the same purposes too, because there are so many. There's so many that you can cover. And if you have some favorite blends that you use and you want to share, then drop me a line. I'd be glad to include it on a future podcast. So I hope you all have a really great week. And I have a thought that I want to leave you with. And especially kind of as we're wrapping this year up to a close and looking forward to another year, I was thinking about how important it is to really live in the present. Because, not to depress anybody or anything like that, but this year has been hard on everybody. And when we look back at last year, last year was, for the most part, a pretty good year. And you just never know what that next year is going to hold. But all that we can do is live in the present. So this is my thought. Always live in the present, the now. You can't change the past. You can't go back and fix anything in that. And we are not promised the future. We know nothing about what's going to happen to it. We don't even know if we're promised 10 minutes, an hour from now. So this day, this now, is all we have. So make the most of it. Make it count. Never fail to tell your loved ones how much you love them, which you're an empath, so I know you don't. And overlook some of the ones that aren't always as understanding. And just know that you get it. You understand where they're coming from. But take it each day at a time, because that's all any of us can do. So, I love you guys. I thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you got a lot out of it. And I hope you have a wonderful upcoming week. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.